Heavenly Father, we come to you in humility and with grief as we remember what took place 1 year ago today.
We were 2/3 of the way up, close to the stage, and Jason Aldean came on. When he got to his third song, and so we're looking around and we thought it was fireworks. And it kept going. And then a girl in front of us up a little ways, she had been shot in the stomach. We said, we have to get out of here. The bullets subsided, and so we kept running. And then when they started up again, we hit the deck. The bullets just kept coming. When it stopped again, we started running for a third time. I had been shot, and at that point, I was out.
My name is Ryan Osborne. I train as a head and neck surgeon in South Central Los Angeles, managing the most complex cancer and trauma patients in the country. I've operated across the globe in first and third world countries. My experiences have taught me the value of flexible and innovative thinking, but I realized that our healthcare system doesn't always allow for that. So I started Osborne Head and Neck Institute, and I made it my mission to provide the best medical care for our patients. Together, we create a new standard in medicine. These are our stories. There's a certain excitement and energy that one feels in Vegas, especially at nighttime. I think it's the bright lights and the larger-than-life theme hotels. It just kind of make you feel like you're standing in the center. The center of what you say? The center of whatever excites you. On October 1st, 2017, a patient of ours named Diane was here in Vegas enjoying the Route 91 Harvest Music Festival. Despite being shot in the face, Diane survived. I've come to Vegas to have a better appreciation of what Diane actually went through and to understand the series of events that led Diane to OHNI.
We experienced an active shooter situation approximately 10:08 p.m. tonight.
Many thought the pops they heard were fireworks associated with the show.
The man they believed fired these shots is 64-year-old Stephen Paddock. It's the deadliest mass shooting in modern United States history.
How did it happen? Isn't that the question? I mean, Las Vegas, this city has probably more cameras than the Pentagon. In Compton, where I did my training, we had a lot of head and neck injuries from penetrating gunshot wounds. And sometimes there'd be multiple gunshot wounds at the same time. It was always scary, but we were prepared for it. We knew we were in sort of a conflict zone. This is not a conflict zone. So I have no idea how the medical team and the local hospitals could have possibly been prepared for the type of injuries they must have seen.
From the hospitals, we're hearing that there are at least 20 casualties that have been brought in, and that number is apparently growing.
At least 58 people now dead, more than 500 people wounded.
From a ballistic standpoint, being hit with one of those rounds of fire, any one of those would be lethal. You're talking about major vessel injury, airway, cerebral injury, And all of that coming into a community hospital at one time, completely overwhelming.
No hospital in Las Vegas has ever seen anything like this before, on even close to this scale.
No.
People come in 1 or 2 or 3, not 400.
Today I'm meeting with Mike Turber. Mike's a security expert. Mike is pretty hush-hush about his past employers. My assumption is they're on the level of some sort of governmental agency, but he's not talking about that. Mike has extensively studied and researched the evidence and the facts surrounding the Las Vegas shooting. He's become a bit of an unofficial expert on the details of that tragic night and has agreed to meet with us and share his perspective.
That room right there is where the shots came from. If you go to the white columns and come down 6 floors all the way to the right, that will be the Vista room where Paddock was, which is 32135. This was originally the 32nd floor.
Right.
We named it the 57th floor.
57th floor.
A few years before at the same hotel, somebody had a similar situation, and one of the housekeepers saw the guns in the room and notified them, and action was taken. And from that, there should have been safety measures put in place.
What they do is they put cameras at the choke points. So down at the bottom floor, they can see people coming in and out of here.
Okay.
On the roof, for the roof access, they can see people going there. As far as going in and out of the floors,
No.
no.
I don't understand how a guy can walk in to the Mandalay and get in the service elevator and have the guys that work at Mandalay help him carry these big bags, bag after bag after bag, up into his room.
He had spent several days bringing in an arsenal of weapons and ammunition to the hotel.
Police say he was armed with at least 10 rifles from that vantage point.
I can't understand how he even did that in the first place. How nobody took notice.
We could walk right into the service elevator right now, even though the doors are locked. Just pull it and go.
Wow.
So, or what?
Security in my house.
Yeah.
I watched a documentary a couple weeks after that, and the people who were making the documentary were still able to access those exact same elevators, go up to the floor.
Mandalay Bay failed at the most basic security penetration testing that you can do. Essentially, I was able to get into the building, go through the service elevators, all the way to the 32nd floor, back down again 27 times without ever being stopped. That area where the vending machine is where the only camera is that's on any floors in that area.
Even after this major event, they're still refusing to take responsibility, and they're still refusing to put safety measures in that absolutely should have been in place.
So in your opinion, level of security changed at all since the event?
On November 17th of last year, Mandalay Bay stated that they were putting 24-hour security on their elevators, which they did, supposedly, on the guest elevators. But Paddock didn't use the guest elevators. He used the service elevators to take everything to his room. Now, he also utilized a bellman. So early on in the investigation, what Mike Turber is about when I do this kind of thing, is I look for the answers to the questions that are not being answered. Everything I do here is strictly for the benefit of the victims and the victims' families and the survivors. That's it.
One girlfriend got separated from us. It's 22,000 people running. The other girlfriend with the daughter were with me, and I was laying down on the ground, and I was bleeding out my back. I was in a pool of blood from my face. And so they started screaming, and 2 guys came over, and they were assessing me, and they thought I was dead. And then a 3rd guy came over from the other side, and he just picked me up, threw me over his shoulders, and ran with me.
The injured were scattered all along the Las Vegas Strip. Bystanders tried to get those hit by gunfire to the hospital any way they could.
They had to run over the chain link fence because the exits were locked, and put me down at the end of a truck bed. And that truck had a husband and wife in the front of the truck, and there were other people injured in the back of that truck. And that truck took off, and when he got on the main road, which is amazing because it was just pandemonium, he flagged down an ambulance that was near him, and yelled at him to take me, and the ambulance took me, and I made it to the hospital, and then I went into trauma ICU. My daughter and my sister went through hell, not knowing if I was dead or alive. That's the part that hurts me the most, is putting them through that. You know, I can't imagine a 23-year-old going through something like that. And I thank God that I survived, that I got to the hospital when I did.
It is a disappointing end to a 10-month investigation that has left us no closer to uncovering a motivation for the massacre.
As surgeons, we focus on diseases and injuries that affect the human body. When we see the body functioning in a less than optimal way, we perform surgeries to right the wrongs and to put our patients back on the road to physical health and well-being. However, some injuries do far more than wound the flesh. They scar the soul. They even break the spirit. Diane was struck by gunfire in the face, just below her right eye. She was fortunate she didn't lose her vision. The projectile took a turn in her head and created an exit wound as it blew out the portion of her temporal bone. After undergoing stabilizing medical care in Las Vegas, she later realized that the damage to her temporal bone left her unable to hear normally from the right side. It was this hearing loss that caused Diane to cross paths with our team. We treat many patients with hearing loss, but this hearing loss, this wasn't a medical problem. This wasn't something that was inevitably going to happen to her. This was caused by an unchecked social condition.
Hi, I'm Dr. Nazarian. I'm the Director of Otology and Restorative Hearing Surgery here at Osborne Head Neck Institute. My specialty is otology, which is ear surgery. I'm an ear, nose, and throat doctor by training, but I also took an extra year to specialize in advanced surgery of the ear.
I've never met a doctor with better bedside manner than Dr. Nazarian. He puts a patient to ease. He put me to ease right away because I was shot. He listened to me and just made me feel like he was a close friend instead of just a doctor.
On that night, over 850 people were injured, and over 400 of them were injured by live gunfire. And Diane happened to be one of those unfortunate people who was injured by gunfire.
I have a blockage in my ear canal from when the bullet went through my neck and up into my jaw. It shattered my jaw.
There was a blast injury, and the sheer forces in her cheek and in her ear canal caused her ear canal to basically tear apart. And later down the line, when everything scarred down, her ear canal became completely shut. We call that an ear canal stenosis, meaning that there's narrowing of the ear canal.
So I have pain radiating down from my ear all the way down through my jaw. It's just been a long ordeal. Physically, I won't be 100%, I know that. And mentally, I certainly won't be.
She has an ear canal stenosis, and she needs surgery if she ever wants to hear again from that side.
This has so totally changed my life that I will never be back to Diane, and that scares me more than anything. I won't be the happy-go-lucky person I was before. There he is, Mr. Superstar.
How are you?
He's fine. I'm fine. Yep. Ready, Freddy.
It's a big day.
Today's the big day. Get this done with and on the road to recovery. Put it behind us.
Put everything behind us.
The ultimate goal of this surgery is to recreate Diane's ear canal where there's a natural path to her eardrum. I want to make sure that she gets lasting results, but I also want to make sure that this is done safely.
I'm good. I mean, the best of hands, you guys.
You are. Wow, that's an honor. You ready?
I am ready, Freddy. Let's get the show on the road.
I'm almost working blindly because I have this wall of skin right in front of me and I don't know what's on the other side. The most important structure that I do not want to injure on this case is her facial nerve. For the first time since meeting Diane, I was able to see what her eardrum looks like. And it was miraculous. Her eardrum was totally intact. There was no injury. There was no hole through the eardrum. Everything was perfect. And I just took a moment to take a look at it and appreciate it, because that right there was a sign. When she recovers and the packing gets removed, she will be able to hear again.
Great. I'm gonna go talk to your family now, okay?
I thank God every day that I'm alive and survived this. And I thank God every day for my doctor, Dr. Nazarian, and those that saved my life.
I feel really happy and lucky that I got to take care of Diane.
He gave me back my ear and my hearing.
Okay, here we go. Can you hear us? Di, can you hear me?
Oh my God, that is amazing. Hi, I'm speaking out of the other ear. I have the phone up to me, out my other ear, and I can hear you.
I can see why she has so many amazing friends that stick by her side and why so many people love her. because through this whole process, I got to love her.
It lets me realize not to take life for granted, value and cherish my family and friends as much as I can, and enjoy every day that I can enjoy.
I know that Diane thinks of me as her hero, but I can't agree with that, because what's the definition of a hero? In my opinion, it's someone who shows courage in the presence of fear and danger. And I don't feel like I fit that description. I feel like I was doing my job, and I was doing it in a very controlled and safe environment. The real heroes are people like Diane, the survivors, and really the people who ended up staying there and helping others, people like Jamie and Paul, who risked everything, their own lives, to help Diane. And without them, I would never be able to meet such a wonderful woman.
I hope that these mass shootings that are happening way too frequently stop completely. And I hope that I can get over the trauma of what's happened to me and stop the roller coaster that I've been on for so long of good days and bad days. That's my hope for the future.
Heavenly Father, we come to you in humility and with grief as we remember what took place 1 year ago today.
Life doesn't end here, and we know we have 58 angels watching over us. We must embrace our future, release the negativity and hate. This evil and darkness cannot take over us, our families, or our lives. Our love must motivate us to move forward. We have the right to feel angry and sad. Embrace those emotions, but don't let them control you. This will take time. For many of us, it will take a lot of time. But we can't let this define us and let evil win. We must continue to fight. I refuse to let it take one more thing from me. We will fight to bring back the goodness that was here before this. We can't let hate enter our worlds. Believe me, we have a full understanding of how much hate we can feel in our hearts. Hatred weakens the heart. Replace it with love and determination. Love for others. Focus on the light and never give in to the darkness. Continue to have the Vegas strong spirit push you forward. We cannot change the world or what the future has in store, but together we can make this world shine brighter than it ever has before. We all have that light. Share it, nourish it, help it grow. But together, we must do it, because together, we are Vegas strong.